Hey everyone, welcome to the Stories of Language Learners. I'm your host, Charles. Okay, before to start the introduction, I just want to let you know that this is the last episode of season 1 of this podcast. So please stay tuned because next week I will share some exciting news. Okay, let's continue. In today's episode, I had a conversation with Maki from Japan. If you are serious about improving your English, you need to listen to this. We talked about so many good things like the importance of being part of a community to learn and improve English, how to use social media to improve English, creating projects to improve English. Maki shared some tips for improving writing and pronunciation. We also talked about how to stay motivated to learn and to keep learning English. Also, we talked a little bit about learning English with songs. Anyway, I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm sure that you're gonna enjoy it as well. Hey everyone, welcome to the Stories of Language Learners. Today I'm so excited to have Maki on the show. She is my first guest from Japan. Hi Maki, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited and I love your work. And yeah, I'm so happy to be part of your project. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, I'm glad that you're here today. I'm so curious about your story. And first of all, I need to say this because I have never been in Japan, but I love Japan.
Oh, you
And
do?
yeah, I think the culture is so fascinating. And
Oh,
almost all the people that I interact with from Japan, they are super friendly. So
thank
thank you
you.
for being here. Before to start, could you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, my name is Maki. I'm from Japan. I live in a small city called Kesenuma with my husband and my 2-year-old son. Like my main job is being a mom, but I sometimes work as a proofreader. And yeah, I love music, English, of course, podcast. And yeah, I'm a member of the English Takeover team. Like, in case you're wondering what it is, English Takeover is amazing group of people from various cultures, and we want to support other learners, and we want to give a safe place to practice English. And we are learners ourselves.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Actually, I put one of the questions that I wrote down here. It is about the English Takeover Challenge. And this is awesome what you guys created. And I think this is the second edition, right? Because before that, you guys
Yeah.
had another one.
Yes, other one. Like it has different names, but this time we launched the English Takeover Challenge. And yeah, so this was a 14-day free English challenge and created by learners. And yeah, so we started the challenge to support other learners. And yeah, because we know how hard it is to learn this language, and we wanted to expedite their learning journey. So now it's finished actually, but we gave some like discussion topics and writing tasks and like pronunciation practice and all that. And we encourage people to speaking up, to get out of their comfort zone, make videos, and interacting with other people to practice English. And yeah, everything was practice. And we reviewed all the videos and gave personal feedback to the challengers. And that's what we did.
This is awesome. Hopefully, I will get the opportunity to participate someday. I would love that.
Yeah.
because it's a community created by English learners, and I think that we should, as English learners, support each other. So,
Oh,
yeah, you guys are doing a beautiful thing, helping people. This is so amazing. And
yeah.
for those of you who are listening to it, you guys can go to Instagram. I think they have an
Yes.
Instagram account, and they run this
Mhm.
challenge through Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, like we have an Instagram account at English Takeover, and we also have a private Facebook group. And the challenge took place on Instagram and Facebook group. So we have two main platforms now, and we're thinking about other stuff as well. But now, like Instagram and Facebook are the main platform for us.
Awesome. I'll include in the show notes the link for those of you guys who
Yeah,
are interested in participating.
yeah, we
So,
have wonderful people there.
so next question: when did you start to learn English?
Yeah, my first contact with English was when I was 12. And in Japan, now English education starts in the third grade of elementary school. But back then, like 2 decades ago, English education started in junior high school. So I started to learn English when I became a junior high school student. And that means I've been learning English on and off for more than 20 years.
That's awesome. So, did you have a good experience in learning English at school in Japan? And also, do you guys in Japan have only English classes, or you guys have other language classes?
We have only English classes, and those classes are like typical old-fashioned English class because we learn only grammar rules, and basically we learn English to pass entrance exams in those exams. So we don't really practice like speaking. So yeah, it's like it needs to be improved for sure in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah, here in Brazil it's kind of the same.
Mhm.
We just learn grammar and stuff like that. We actually don't have speaking classes, which I think it's a shame. We
Yeah.
should work on this because it's so
Mhm.
important. The speaking, it's the most important things in the
Yeah, for
learning
sure.
process of a new language.
Hmm.
And okay, what methods, tools, and resources have you been using to learn? Because probably you had to work on your English after school. So, when was the starting point, and what things did you use to continue in your learning journey?
Like at the beginning of the learning journey, I used, of course, textbook from school. I didn't have any chances to go to like English conversation schools. So I practiced English with textbooks and I started to write letters in English. So that's where I learned a lot of vocabularies and expressions. And now I have an American girl. We exchanged letters for more than 20 years.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And yeah, as like that's my first serious practice. But now I don't use any workbooks or textbooks, and I don't really use any apps either. And I have some grammar books. I have some punctuation style guide, and I have like old-fashioned like paper dictionary. And my go-to method is writing in English and recording myself and making videos. And also like interacting with other learners is like it works like magic for me. So yeah, of course, like podcast, I listen to podcasts a lot. I watch some YouTube videos, but they're not, most of them are not related to English learning, just for fun. And I can learn from them.
Yeah, right now I'm also at a point in my journey with English that I stopped to watch a lot of YouTube channels that I used to watch when I first started learning. I think it's super important, and when you are first starting learning, it's good to use these resources like YouTube and podcasts, everything related to English. But after you are in a point where you are more confident and when you are able to understand the language deeper, I think it's cool for you to start listening to podcasts and YouTube related to other interests.
Yeah.
Because this way you are super motivated. It's something that calls your attention. It's something that you enjoy, so it's not boring. You do this for fun, and you are learning passively. And something that you said about practicing with others. This is the key, I think, because I
Yeah.
learned English for years, but I just started to use the language actively like 2 years ago when I started
Mm-hmm.
to having calls with Cambly. And for that point on, I realized that my improvement it was so much better because I was using the language actively. I was producing English. And before we start to record, we started to talk about how much powerful it is social media today. And
Mm-hmm.
you said to me that years ago you wouldn't use social media because you thought that
No.
wasn't safe. And for me, it was kind of the same, but I didn't use social media because I thought that it was a waste of time. But we are living in a time right now that we can't get behind. People are using social media. People basically live on social media.
Yeah.
And social media is something that we can use for good and
Mm-hmm.
also we can use for bad things. But I'm not promoting bad things. I think we need just use social media for good things and we can use it strategically. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm here because one day I decided to participate in a challenge online on Instagram, and I started to use Instagram again because my Instagram was kind of dead. So I did that challenge, and you were one of the participants of the Fluency
Yeah.
Breakthrough Challenge. And
Yes.
it's kind of sad because we didn't have the chance to talk, but we are
Yeah.
here right now and recording this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and which is awesome. And I truly can see, for example, when I go to your social media page, your Instagram, I see that you built your community. You are always in touch with other people. You are always producing content. So let's use social media to improve in any area of our lives. If you're learning
Yeah.
language or any other thing. Um, okay, let me ask you the next question. Okay, I saw on your Instagram, and actually, I think it was a task that you guys did in the English Takeover Challenge, where you shared some writing tips that you made a video about it. Could you share some tips?
Yeah, maybe you don't want to hear this, but grammar and punctuation skills are crucial. But I think like the most important thing is just write, try and write. And it doesn't have to be like long or academic essays or whatever, but you can write whatever you like. And sharing your work with other people and getting feedback from them is really helpful. And that's what I encourage people to do in English Takeover community. So yeah, write and share and get feedback.
Yeah, because in order to be good at it, you need to do it. The same
Yeah.
way as speaking. If you want to improve your
Yes,
speaking skills, you need to speak. And I
totally.
noticed that my writing is getting better because I am trying to use social media to post a lot of things in English. Oh, I was having a conversation yesterday with a person from the Fluency Breakthrough Challenge that I'm participating again, and I this person that I was talking with asked me for some advices to improve writing and or speaking in general, and he said to me that he really enjoys using social media. So I told him, so if you like to use social media, try to use as a way that you can improve your English. So if your goal is really improve your English, start to follow people who speaks in English. Start to follow people who write in English. And something that I did that I shared with him is that you can choose one social media platform to do everything in English. For example, I choose Instagram. So everything that I put on Instagram is basically in English. So you have an excuse to use actively the
Yes.
language,
Yeah,
which
that's a
is really
good
important.
idea. Yeah, you need some kind of a commitment.
Yeah, let's move on to the next question. Okay, on your Instagram, you have a series of video about I don't know if I will pronounce it correct. IELTS?
IELTS, yes.
Okay, IELTS. Speaking practice. Do you have any advice to improve pronunciation?
Pronunciation. I think record yourself, listen to your voice, and analyze your speech is a good way to improve pronunciation. I know it's hard. I know it's hard because when I just started recording myself, it was killing me. But like I'm pretty sure a lot of people consume like English content a lot. And sometimes passive learning has a slightly negative connotation to it when it comes to improving speaking skills. But as for pronunciation practice and self analysis, the listening time you had in the past will greatly help you. Your ear knows well, and your ear can detect the unclarity in your speech. So, yeah, everything will help you, but recording yourself is my go to method.
Yeah, and I can totally agree with you because I am living proof of that. It's so interesting because last week I was hosting a meeting because I am a volunteer in a community here in Brazil on Meetup.
Yeah.
And I was hosting a meeting in there, and there is a guy who I really admire. He's a really excellent English speaker, and also I interviewed him in this podcast, Jonas, and he said to me, "Oh, Charles, your English evolved." And I thought, "Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, your feedback." And then I realized, oh man, how powerful it is to record yourself, how powerful it is to listen to yourself over and over again, because I've been recording all these episodes and I've been talking with people, I've been planning, writing questions, and then editing and listening to me again. And yeah, this helps. Guys, if you want to improve your speaking skills, start to record yourself. Another thing, you can create a project that you love. For example, if you love to talk about football, why not create a YouTube channel where you can talk about football in English? Or you can do like me. I decided to start a podcast where I talk about the learning process of English and where I interview people and ask them questions and I try to know their stories. So this is something that I will try to do more often. So I realized that when I have a project, when I have a goal, specific goal or something that I want to reach, I am so much more motivated if I have a goal. For example, my goal with this podcast was to improve my English. And next week I will try to build a website. And I want to build a website for this podcast by myself. I'm learning how to code. My coding skills, it's not too great, but I think I can do it. So, and I know when we create something new, we will face problems that we will have to look for the solutions. We will need to learn new things in order to complete that task. Yeah. So guys, create a project if you want to improve in some area of your life or if you want to acquire new skills. This is powerful.
Yeah. Totally. Like it's understandable to be uncomfortable with your voice, but just give it a try a few times. You'll get used to your voice and you will start to see something else other than your voice. So just give it a try. Talk about your favorite things and yeah, like Chalice said.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next question. Do you learn English with music? I put that question here because I saw on your profile a video that you did singing a song. Do you think that this is helpful?
Yes, like 100 times yes. Like my pronunciation improved thanks to music. And sometimes I challenge my friends and make them sing. And they challenge me and they make me sing. And we are having fun. And yeah, so you can learn a lot about pronunciation and linking as well. So I love learning English with music.
Awesome. And I believe in that. I truly believe because I've been singing since the beginning of my learning journey. I'm not a singer at all, but I really love to sing and I love music as much as I love podcasts. I think I spend 1 hour per day listening to music, and I believe that music is powerful for you to improve your pronunciation. And in the interview number 4 that I did with Risa from Indonesia, she also mentioned about how powerful it is to learn English with music, because in the beginning of her journey she was so in love with music, and she would buy the CDs and would try to sing. And yeah, there is proof that with music you can
Yes.
improve your
Yes.
English. That's awesome. Okay, in your opinion, what is the most difficult thing about learning languages?
Yeah, I think keeping motivation up is challenging. Like some people get very busy. I get busy sometimes, and just getting by in and of itself is challenging, even if they have dreams. Like, especially those tough days like now, there are a lot of precarity around us. So, but learning languages requires like persistent, consistent effort. And yeah, that's why it's so important to find something to motivate yourself every day. And in my case, my friend from the community helped me a lot all the time. And the fact that they like what I do motivates me. And even if I'm busy, I think about them, and that makes me want to practice. So yeah, they believe in my skills more than I do. And getting to know them is my biggest breakthrough.
This is amazing because I saw one video that you did about you were talking about comfort zone, and you said a phrase that I wrote here to share. You said, "The strangers now are my friends." And this is so powerful. This is the
Yeah.
power of being part of a community.
Yeah.
And I really want to build a community of stories of language learners through
Yes.
this podcast. And I did yesterday, no, last week I did my first Instagram live ever.
I watched that.
Thank you so much. I was
Yeah.
so terrified. I
Oh.
participated in the Fluency Breakthrough Challenge twice, and one of the tasks of this challenge it is to make lives on Instagram, but I haven't had the courage to do that. So
Yeah.
I had to start a podcast to be able to think about and then do it. So I invited my dear friend Camila. She participated with me, and at the end of that live, we were talking about future goals. And I mentioned that one of my future goals it is to build a community. And a few people sent me a message, "Oh, would love to be part of a group or something like that where you can share with each other the tools or methods we are using to learn to motivate each other." As I said, sometimes
Yes.
it's discouraging, or sometimes we are not so motivated to keep going and to keep practicing. So the power of community is this: you will have support, you have people who care about what you're learning, so you can support each other. I created a community on Telegram,
Oh.
and this is amazing.
Cool.
So I will probably put in the show notes the link so you guys can join this community and say hello. And one of the main reasons that I created this is to practice English conversation. So I encourage people to speak, because I am part of a lot of groups on WhatsApp or whatever, a lot of groups where people get together to learn English. But people don't send voice messages, and there is a lack of, I don't know, confidence, or people are kind of afraid, and I totally can relate because I was like them. So if we want to improve our speaking skills, we need to speak. So in this community, I'm sending to people a lot of voice messages. I encourage them to send a lot of voice messages, and I've been hearing a lot of voice messages, which is so cool.
Yay.
People participating, engaging, and yeah, let's move on to the next question. um, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people making when it comes to learning a new language?
I would say avoiding during practice. Like just consuming English is not enough. So we have to actually use our articulators and use our voice and go about repetition practice. And I feel a lot of people don't really enjoy them. I know how they feel. But yeah, making videos or creating podcasts would do you good for sure, because we tend to practice a lot repetitively before recording. So I highly recommend doing something like making videos or creating podcasts.
Yeah, something that I realized, if you want to be good at something, we need to practice it. For example, if you want to build muscles, you need to go to the gym. And also, for example, there is some kind of coordination between our lips, our tongue, our mouth when we are learning a new language. So we need to train our brain to make these new sounds that we don't have in our mother tongue. And
100%.
I remember that I avoid to say some words because I was kind of worried and concerned. But yeah, we need to step out of our comfort zone. There is no
Exactly.
other way. Okay, we are almost wrapping things up.
Okay.
If someone is thinking about learning a new language today, what is the number one thing that this person should do to start learning?
And finding language partners. Like I said, my friend helped me a lot. And language partners don't have to be native speakers, but just having someone that shared same struggles around you is very empowering. So use social media, get to know new people, and find your language partners to practice like regularly.
Yeah, I truly believe in that. We don't need just to talk with native speakers. And this is something, this kind of misconception, I guess. People believe that, oh, I need to move to another country to be able to speak another language, or I need to find native speakers to practice their language. But I don't think so. I have never been abroad in any country. And also, I did some English classes with native speakers, but after I was doing the Connect and Communicate course, there is another program from Stephanie. She teaches in that course that we can use social media strategically to reach out to people from all around the world to have English conversations and to practice our English, because there are so many people learning and people from so many different levels. So for example, if someone has higher level, you will probably learn from it. But if you talk with another person who is in a low level, you can teach that person. And when you teach someone, you will learn so much more.
Yes.
Something that a lot of people say, and I truly believe it. When you teach someone, you can increase your knowledge.
Yes.
I wrote down here because I saw in one of your videos that you mentioned about Canada, that you went to Canada. Can you share
Yes.
with us a little bit about this experience going to Canada?
Yeah, I went to Canada when I was 22. That means 14 years ago. And I wanted to be an English teacher. I graduated from Teachers University and got a teacher's license. But I wanted to study abroad for a long time, but I didn't have much money. So I went there for just 2 months. I took 2 months TESOL course. And TESOL means teaching English to like someone as other language or something like that. And yeah, it was a great moment in my life. and I learned how to teach English. And my classmates are from Korea and Japan. We practiced, of course, how to teach English, and we learned how to make lesson plans. We had actually teaching practice. We taught ESL students at the English language school. So yeah, it was really, I miss those days. I want to go back there sometime, and yeah.
I'm so glad to hear this. So I would like to ask you another question. Do you
Mhm.
remember some, for example, if there is someone who are listening to us right now who maybe intends to start teaching? Because I
Mhm.
think you can start teaching at any level. I never thought about teaching, but maybe in the future. I remember that I was participating in an online meeting from Meetup, and a guy said that he was just starting to learn, but he also would like to teach, and I thought that was so brave. And I think that there's no barriers. If you want to teach, you can teach some basic things. You don't need to know
Yes.
everything to start to teach. So, do you remember something about that you could share with us about teaching, or some structure or some pattern that is important to share with the students?
Teaching structures, like it depends. When it comes to teaching English, we have to keep balance between input and output. So we have to create something about input, and then we have to give some tasks about output. That's what I keep in mind when I do something. Then I make some content, and but you just go and teach, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
on the English Takeover Challenge, we had Tuesday teaching day tasks. So everyone, like every challengers, have to teach something, and that was a great days. Like the community changed into like school. Like they taught various kinds of things, from how to I don't know, like how to cook something. They taught like how to use like very technical stuff, and how to edit videos and stuff. So yeah, you can teach anything if you want, and you have social media, so you can teach on social media.
Awesome. I believe that if we have a passion, so it doesn't matter what level we are in, if you have a passion for something, you can use this passion to learn and to try to teach, and because you will learn a lot by
Yeah.
doing this. So, yeah, that was all the questions that I had. The time flies. So, the
Yeah.
last question, where can people find you online?
I'm on Instagram. My handle is Maki no self, Maki underscore no underscore self. And I contribute some content to English Takeover team. So you can find me on English Takeover account at English Takeover. And I'm always hanging out in Facebook private group. And if you're interested in the Facebook group, there are several ways to join us, but you can find the link on my bio. You can find the link on English Takeover team account. And yeah, if you cannot find the link, you can just DM me. I'm gonna lead you to the group, and I'm so looking forward to meeting new members.
Awesome. I will for sure include in the show notes all the links
Thank
and
you.
resources that we mentioned. So you
Yeah.
guys should check it out. Maki, thank you so much for
Oh,
being
thank
here in the last
you.
episode of this season. I'm really glad that you are participating and you took the time to do this interview with me. Again, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and you're awesome. I love your project. So, yeah, I'm a biggest fan of yours.
Thank you so much. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned something. If you liked this podcast, please share it with your friends. I would love to hear your feedback about the show. Your feedback is super important for me. Please send me a message on Instagram. Also, I created a community on Telegram. In this group, I encourage people to help each other to learn and practice English together, and besides that, we are doing monthly video calls. Feel free to join us. I will include links of all the resources that we mentioned in the show notes, including where you can find me online. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.